Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 4. We're on episode 4 now.
Episode 4.
Can't remember what episode we're on. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
I know.
Doing good.
Excellent. So we've tonight we've got oh, I've just realised I'm on the wrong overlay. You saw nothing, people. You saw nothing.
At least you know.
Never mind.
Seen it with my eyes.
Never mind. We'll ignore that. So we have.
Am I off?
Hey,
We've got
By the way?
Sulu. Say hello.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, sorry, that was my bad. We've got CoffeeStainPlays,
Hi.
and we've got Clarelu.
Hey.
Excellent, excellent. So thank you all for joining us for episode 4. It's great to see everybody here. Thank you to everyone who's been following and hosting. It really helps out and means a lot. We've got some pretty awesome people in chat as usual.
Except
As
for Elmo.
always.
Except for Elmo. We'll let Elmo off. You know, he can't help it. Great stuff. So that really is throwing me already. Great start. I'll tell you what, Buckle, do you want to save me? And
save you.
yeah, do you want to give us a quick overview of what's happened this week?
Precious
before I
little.
die.
Very precious little's happened this week. So I just like last week. I don't have a lot of story to go over, so we'll talk about some RP stuff, an extension of what we did last week. But for now, the only thing that's happening is we got some of the characters whose players went off the packs have returned. Primarily Sigurd and Helen. So essentially the two leaders of Seven Hells and the Shield Maidens. So they've come back, and stuff has been in motion while they've been away. We got representatives from a lot of different towns here tonight, so they can give you some more story if they're willing to breach some of that. But yeah, so the world definitely didn't stop moving in their absence, and I think over this next week, based on hearing some of the players talk in streams, the main story may start kicking back up here in the next few days.
Excellent.
So
Hopefully it
that's
will.
where we're at right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully it will.
Yeah. If they don't come back, everyone's just going to turn on each other. So we really need these villains to come back to the server so we can go after them.
Yeah. It's all good fun.
Hopefully.
Brilliant. Alright, so quick reminder to anyone who's in the chat, if you do have any questions for anybody, do put them in chat and we'll try and answer them as we go on towards the end. Just realised I don't have my document open for that, never mind. Good old pen and paper. So yeah, do keep the chat flowing with questions. That would be awesome. Right, when shall we start then? Well, I think Isulu's at the top of my screen. So I think we should start with you. Tell us about your character.
Well, I play Zaccheus Windeharm, and he is one of the leaders of Crescent Reach. And we just had a really hard time building at first, but
now on top of a fucking mountain, just throwing
Yeah.
out there.
we had one tile 3 of us were working on for 2 real days. That was insane. But once we got it up, everyone felt really good about things. And I dug a gold mine after we got the keep up, and that's sort of what's been going down with Southreach. This guy named Gannicus. This is basically where Zaccheus comes in now, because we've just been building. Gannicus started bugging Zaccheus because the gold mine was right close to his house. And this huge dispute happened between him and then Lucifer and Rosemary over at Arena Inn and Tavern. And everybody was going to get gold, but Gannicus wouldn't have it, and he ended up fighting Zaccheus, and Zaccheus killed him. So along comes his cousin, wanting revenge. So they start harassing Zaccheus's miners at the mine, and the mine collapses 3 times now. And Zaccheus warns him, if you keep attacking them, I'm going to kill you. And they tried to kill one of the miners. So he chased them, and they ran to Southreach, at which point this guy named Wrath protects them, or takes them into custody, and starts trying to have a whole trial. Like, we're going to put them on trial. We don't know who's telling the truth. And Zaccheus was like not having it. He just said, if you don't release them in a week, we'll be back. And they weren't the only, Crescent Reach wasn't the only ones who were mad. Legend apparently got attacked by these 2 guys, and they wanted blood. So they send over this guy named Yake, and they tell Zaccheus to show up to the trial, and Legend will too. And they're going to die regardless if they're guilty or not. And things just started rolling out of proportion, and that's when Jorth came and stopped the whole thing. And everybody's sort of peaceful now because there's a contract written. Zaccheus owns the mine, but then Southreach, Arena Inn and Tavern, and now Wrath, who lives at Gannicus's place now, all can take gold out of there after a certain period of time. And there's so many blocks of gold down there. It's 2 people have lost their lives over this mine. It's been crazy. That's where we stand with Zaccheus.
A dangerous place to be then.
Yep,
It
sounds
is.
like it. Hearing Yake show up in that, he's gonna get a slap, poking his nose in places.
God, I don't know.
This is just what Zaccheus knows.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an event that spread all over the server. Just a simple little land dispute somehow now involved 3 or 4 major towns, and I personally have seen one of the so-called attackers be marched through and, dragged behind a horse kind of thing to await trial and execution. And I'm like, trial and execution. So have you already decided the judgment? Yeah, and the guy's like, I didn't do it. Okay.
That was the thing. They were trying to make a trial in Southreach and Crescent Reach, and Legend were like, why are you trying to impose your laws on us? We're just going to take it. We're going to take those guys. Crucible got involved because Rhea was just on a visit. So all of a sudden she's in a meeting with the leader of Odin's Wrath as well, and it's just all over a gold mine.
Yep.
Okay, next up, stay away from gold mines.
That's it.
Just careful where your monuments go. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Some of the biggest wars are fought over property disputes. Who owns what land?
Very true.
That's what it was, yeah.
I mean, well, you at least made Almo happy. He says that gold mine made him rich.
Well, let's. When Zaccheus first started digging it, he actually found Almo's character, Gudbrand, actually found Zaccheus, and Zaccheus asked him for some help, and he actually helped for like 2 in-game days, which is quite a long time. Dug many, many tiles. So him and Gudbrand actually made a good connection there. So Zaccheus and Gudbrand are on the level, they're good friends.
Okay.
Interesting to see where this goes.
It's crazy.
Brilliant. So, if I'm correct, Crescent's Reach is the one on top of the southern mountain?
Yes. We lost 8 horses building that keep. That was insane.
You lost 8 horses?
That's why I was asking Tuk how many horses he lost, because
Yeah.
we lost horses to Crucible and Slefsig from crashes, just going back and forth. You would always crash in the forest.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, we've been pretty careful And yeah, no horses have been missing. We've been doing pretty good. Yeah. So no losses. Everything's all right. We got to keep up. Everything's all good.
And that's farther south than us, so
Yeah.
congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Hats off.
Well, is my mic a bit low?
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, it's probably OBS. Let's turn it up a little. Alright, we'll see how it goes. I blame Mrs. C. She said the audio was fine beforehand. Just, I don't know.
What's this all about? Chow knows what he's talking about. Who's Chow? Is
I'm
that
going to
me?
assume he doesn't mean chow. As in...
No,
Yes,
not that
HD.
Chow, I'm sure. Nah, I don't think so.
But you guys know Chow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Streamer.
And,
You all know Chai.
Yeah. And when I first started streaming, like, people came in like, oh, you sound like just Chow. Like, right?
I can hear that a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you have the touch of the Chai about you.
Touch
Yeah,
of the Chow.
That sounds like you need a
All of
doctor.
I
it,
mean-
yes.
A little bit in there.
I mean, we're both Swedish, and I believe there's something in the Swedish way of speaking that, I don't know, makes you similar or something like that. I don't know.
Possibly.
It's possibly the accent.
Similar accent, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe. And like,
could be.
even in DayZ, I'm able to roleplay as Chow. Like,
I
hello?
You run around screaming, brother!
Yeah. Hello, brother. How's it going?
Oh,
Yeah,
you get
no
chow
worries,
involved in life.
Apparently he played for a little bit, and then bailed out.
Oh, I played Life is Feudal?
A little bit in Season 1, that's what I heard, yeah. He was up with Kiwo's
I
first
heard.
group.
I heard it was coffee,
Yeah.
just pretending to be Chai.
Ah, could have been. Could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to create the Brotherhood. You know Skyrim?
Mhm.
Yeah, the Brotherhood. And,
Yep.
I think somebody beat into it in
Yeah,
season
yeah.
one.
yeah, we kind of beat it into it, and we actually asked him to join us, because I think pretty much all of us are subscribers or mods or anything like that to Chow, and we just got everything ready to like get Chow in the game, something like that. But yeah, he kind of went with the Kiwo thing. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Which is normal.
Maybe he was afraid you were too much of Chai for him to take over.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about Tuk.
About Tuk,
Yeah.
you want the whole story?
Yeah,
I
go
guess?
for it.
Alright. Well then, Tuk, he is, I guess, pretty lonely in his own relationships. Like, from the beginning, he raised up like he was raised by his mother. No one else. His dad died. There's a bit of I don't know, a reveal. It was like, if you ever known Tuk Thomas. No, wait, never mind. Tomahawk Num Num. If you ever met Tomahawk Num Num, that was Tuk's father. Yeah, and he died in Clammy's castle, the Nanda Parbat.
Oh, last season.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, he died there. He was going there for a drink with a friend, and yeah, they got attacked by the Higginbottoms, and they killed a few. Tomahawk Num Num, he killed. Well, he headshotted 2 of them. I think that's pretty good of me. Like, spending, I don't know, a few hours in the game with all the building and terraforming and all that, not doing anything about the actual combat situation. Just went into it and just headshotted 2 of them. I don't know if anyone woke up from that, if they went unconscious or anything like that, but yeah, he got killed. And Tuk's father, he became like sort of a legend to Tuk, and yeah, his mother talked about him, all of that. He's a good man. He respected everyone that were respecting him. He's a good man, all of that. And Tuk actually tried to live up to that expectations, you know, being the best as he can. So, at the age of around the 18 years old, he started traveling. He finally reached Southreach and started working. Southreach became this, let me say, like, kind of a big thing, because a lot of people came to Southreach and asked for a bit of protection. Yeah, a bit of everything, just training, protection, yeah, a bit of everything. And yeah, by the time Southreach was almost finished, Tuk was the captain of the guard. So he protected the most important people, and the Sultan, he went away. Out of character, he had to deal with some things, but yeah, his character, he
Where he went.
yeah, he had to deal with some things, and it was a bad choice making him the leader, but never mind. Nas became the leader, and we had a bit of a hard time figuring out, you know, like, what Southreach was about, you know. And we had this alliance with I think pretty much everyone knows about the alliance by now. The Shield Maidens, the Seven Hells, and Southreach. And that is
Dirty
everything. Yeah, but when Tuk was in the captain of the guard, all the attacks of Schleswig and the meeting with the Crucible, I believe all of you remember Jam Stream when all of us gathered at the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of people on Jam side and a lot of people on the Crucible side, just I don't know, jam talking about who's the king and what he is about and all of that, you know. But yeah, Tuk was pretty much there to gather information. Not all of the people understood that Tuk was there to gather information. He stood behind Grimm's back, just like he took the risk to gather the information and all of that. From the beginning, Southreach has been the neutral place. All right, it has been the neutral place, and the Seven Hells and the Shield Maidens went to Southreach just to make sure they were in the alliance, right? And yeah, so they kept the alliance as long as Nas was alive, and all of that. Nas was the leader. He did everything. He talked to Tuk about some of the stuff, not everything. Yeah. And yeah, so after a while, Nas died. As we all know, I made a highlight of Nas' death. Well, the funeral of Nas, pretty epic. I have to admit, I shed a tear when everything was going on. Like, if you can imagine playing the game for the start of one season to, let's say, the middle of the season, alright? Because I don't even know. I don't even know if you guys know if, like, how much more there is of the season to squeeze out, you know? How much more there is. But, yeah.
I don't know if it's clear yet whether or not there's going to be more seasonal breakups other than kind of like arbitrary points to hope to, you know, kind of bring stories to conclusion or something like that, or it may just keep going as is. I guess it all depends on how many people keep playing. But well, to catch up to present, so Nas was the leader for a long time, and he was the one that was under the thumb, mostly, right, of the Seven Hells.
He was. And Tuk was kind of the Nas right hand, as long as the Sultan was the leader. But the leader went away for a long time, and he made the position of the leader to Nas. And yeah, he died.
Oh, we're all aware.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that anyone's actually said it in game yet. We all know out of character, right, that Nas is dead, but there was no stream or something. But we can kind of assume.
Flux was told he was dead in game.
Yeah.
She was.
Has that gotten around? Because the assumption from characters is that, you know, Nas is let off in the middle of the night by Grim Grey. If you're led away in the middle of the night by Grim Grey, you're dead, right? Or you're on some secret mission kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the assumption.
I mean, that's what Tuk's expectation was. Like, Tuk went on a bit of a journey around the island, just trying to figure out what happened to Nas. And when he finally got to the Crucible, Rhea told him that, they were talking about the Alliance and all of that. As of right now, I think everybody knows about the alliance between Southreach trying to get away from the Seven Hells, the Shield Maidens, to gather people with the Crucibles. Yeah, I mean, everyone else really that had a bit of a fight against the Seven Hells.
So you asked me
And,
earlier who my new character was. And so, do you remember a meeting one day where a character came out and said, "We have men, we have money. Are you willing to fight against the Seven Hells?"
Was that
I said,
you?
that was me. So,
Oh my god.
at that point, we were trying to recruit people for it, and Tuck explained there's only a few people left in Southreach. We're very close to the Seven Hells. We're in a bad position. Can we do it secretly? That was all what you put forward, right?
Yeah.
And then about 30 minutes later, Crom went live, and you sold me out.
Yeah.
Damn. Awkward.
Shots fired.
which is fine, which is actually pretty cool. So where do you go from there? I know we've had like a week and a half of not having the Seven Hells breathing down your throat. Is that what you're feeling now, that Southreach is kind of able to break free, and we're kind of hoping that those bad guys come back to fight? Or
The thing is, at that point when let's say you came to me and told me about all this thing, like we have this many people and all of that, like just contact William and everything will be like alright. And after that, like out of character, I went offline on my stream, and then I just kept watching Crom's stream. I'm like, shit, tonight is the night, tonight is the night. I can't really go offline tonight, so I kind of went for the 24-hour stream because I've planned for the 24-hour stream before this, and the 24-hour stream was gonna to happen when I had my sleep and all of that. But yeah, so I just fucking started my stream, said the 24 hours on. Yeah, and I met up with Crom and Helena, and they came up to Southreach and they talked about so we heard about the whole situation with William, and of course everybody, I think everybody knows about William. William is being played with TVS BOH Mike, and yeah, he wanted to, in the daytime streams, he wanted to change the whole things with the killing, with everything like that, make it a better place, all of that, and yeah. So Sigurd and Helen met up with Tuck just a few minutes before I went live, and we talked about the death of Nas, because I said with Nas, of course, that I'm being honest here. I don't have my helmet on. I'm being totally natural to this situation. And Crom went, yeah, I got you, brother. He took off his helmet, and we started talking, and yeah, we kind of figure out that Nas died in an honorable fight, with respect, and yeah, was a fair fight, and Tuk believed it. As of right now, we don't know anymore. Yeah, so Tuk kind of went that way, kind of feeling that everything was all right, you know, and Southreach was pretty much fine. Because
Interesting
of
stance.
yeah, but
After your leader's murdered, sure, okay.
yeah, but we changed leader, so from Nas to me, that was a bit of a change, and I don't know. Tuk has some different view of Southreach than Nas had, right? He tried to go behind the Shield Maidens and Seven Hells back and try to make an alliance. And before Tuk knew about Nas being dead, he went around searching the lands, like, is Nas alive? Like, have you seen him? Is he alive? When did you last see him? Alright, then we went to Crucible, and then we got the answer that Grim Grey took him away, and Nas left with free will, all of that, just to protect the people. Yeah. And, yeah.
So where does that leave Southreach now? Southreach and Tuk, are you guys aligned with Seven Hells still? And then, or kind of happy that they have been quiet? Where do you see the next few days going now? If they come up and start a fight, you're going to stand with them or against them?
We still have the alliance with the Seven Hells and the Shield Maidens, but...
Dirty bastards. Sorry, go on.
Tuk actually, he talked to Sigurd, and everything went well. We had a funeral, a very beautiful funeral for Nas. Please go and check it out on the highlights because it's fucking epic. It's epic, and yeah, Sigurd showed Tuk respect, all of that, and they respect each other because ever since the beginning, Southreach has had the kind of let's say opposite thinking of the Seven Hells, that the killings has to stop. Seven Hells killed Cletus, Nas, good friends, like really good friends of Tuk, and he kind of settled it with Cletus. He actually went to Tuk before the big battle at Crucible. Just left his preacher clothes, said his goodbyes. Tuk didn't understand anything. He just left, and yeah.
Alright, so currently Alliance is secure with Seven Hells and Shield Maidens for now.
Yeah.
Tuk is a somewhat insecure leader, not really sure where his things lie, but he knows that Sigurd was respectful to him.
Indeed.
Which is okay. All right.
And
don't go to Southreach. Got it.
But I want to say this: it's been a long time since either Grim, Sigurd, any one of the Shield Maidens really has been in game, and Tuk had some time to think. Right, and he thought about what about making a kind of a not an alliance, but a let's say of a court, all right, a court meeting, and he's been thinking of that a long time since everybody's been away, and he had some time. We've been building everything. Southreach is pretty much done. Had some few things that needs to be built, but we're almost done. And he went to Rhea, the Crucibles, and they talked about. I think it's a bit official because I did stream it, and yeah, they talked about making a council, right? Between the idea is making a council that will gather the biggest settlements of the island together and discuss problems, things like that. And out of character, I believe that is going to bring forward a lot of the RP, you know?
Cool.
Because if we bring up the meetings, that is going to bring up the RP of people that hasn't been like in the spotlight. There's a lot of people that's been in the spotlight before, in some way, you know. But yeah, that's mine and Tuck's thought of everything. That just to be fair with everyone on the server. That's a bit of.
It's a lot. That's
Yeah, I mean.
It's a tough goal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle, but hopefully we can get a lot of people that were not in the spotlight before, that has been working their asses off, building their keep, doing their role play ridiculously, like really good, like, and
just kind of get them out there in the world, let them
Yeah.
see stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nose off the grindstone kind of thing.
yeah, just like
I get you. Yep.
Correct.
just just
So we got to kind of get a good idea
bring
now.
them
like-
out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so I think a lot of people have finished their builds in the last week or so, you know, without the threat of being
yeah.
murdered by. So,
It helps.
yeah, I think a lot more people are getting out there and role playing and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's a good,
for
good
sure.
point. You guys are putting your
For
town out
sure.
there for that kind of neutral place for people to meet. I think that's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, I talked to Rhea, and we thought about this neutral place to meet up and gather the people of the lands. Just meet up, have a discussion.
Mhm.
No harm to anyone. Just a talk. Anything else? It's just bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of
know-
people have had that idea about having neutral ground and have it policed
Yeah.
by everyone
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just to myself. It's been a lot of attention to the Shield Maidens, the Seven Hells, the Crucibles, the South Reach.
Mhm.
Not too much about the smaller or the bigger settlements, like.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, like. There's
Yeah,
a lot
some-
of people that has a good role play going on.
Yeah, we've said that a couple times here.
Yeah.
You know, there's people who, and that's just the way they like it. They keep their stories small, off screen, you know, or you know,
Yeah.
their own smaller streams. Sorry, not smaller, own separate streams, things like that, where there's their own stories are going along, and you know, we never see any of it until maybe we bump into them in the woods, kind of thing, and then suddenly you're off
Yeah.
on like a 4-hour adventure with someone you're like, I don't know who this is, but they're awesome, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, a lot of people are doing a great job, you know? Like, a lot of people don't recognize the kind of struggle they put into all the work, but I just think it's time to, well, it's been time since the beginning to actually bring them up, let them talk, all of that, you know?
Yep.
Just
Awesome
to...
like that.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we bumped into some people from Odin's Wrath recently. Claire happens to be from Odin's Wrath, and
They're nothing
they're just
to do with me.
they're just over the hill from Crucible.
I take no responsibility for any of those guys.
Well, I don't know. You guys have been working hard over there, you know, just like out of the blue one day. Oh, there's a keep poking up over the trees. What the hell is that over there? And there's look, there's people working over there. And we had Almo last week, and I saw you giving him shit in here, Claire, about what he was doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know. So why don't you tell us about that?
Oh, about Odin's Wrath. Well, okay, so my character is Flux. That's the name that she's been given. She doesn't actually know her real name. I struggled after Season 1 to, like, come up with a character, because I loved my Season 1 character so much. She was just like...
Jobs.
She was an extension of me, and she just hated authority, and she just had a good time, and there was lots of shenanigans, and so
Secret
unfortunately she
meetings
was
in the woods.
lots of secret meetings in the wood, and there was a romance that never quite came to fruition, unfortunately. But she died in her sleep, obviously, and now she lives in Shenanigans server. But
die in your sleep instead of the Ragnarok of bears.
Yeah, well, she was unfortunate. Unfortunately, she was asleep. She slept through that, so she missed it all. But yeah, so I got asked to join a few settlements, and I couldn't decide between friends. So I decided that I would awake on the beach, having no memory, and whoever found me got to keep me. And so there was there was a bit of a battle between a few people to see who could hunt me down first. Yeah, up Clear Cove. Clear Cove all the way. But
our first settlements will be our first loves.
Yeah,
Forever. Indeed.
It'll never be the same again. But so the first person to find me, for good or bad, was Almo. Good brand. And yeah, unfortunately for me, well, he wasn't actually the first person I met, but he was the first person that really sort of decided that he would claim me, come hell or high water. So he brought me to Odin's Wrath and introduced me around. I told him I didn't know my name, and so he basically named me Flux because I have brown hair like Flux, which my character didn't know because obviously there's no mirrors. She'd never seen a reflection. So she spent a bit of time adventuring around, looking for family or friends or somebody in the entire country that would say, oh yes, I've lost a sister or a wife, or, you know, you belong to me. But so far, not a single person seems to want her. Nobody has claimed. I thought maybe somebody might, you know, pretend to try and get her.
You can come to Southreach.
No, see. Well, now I did meet Naz, and he tried to convince me to move in, but I couldn't because I'd already sort of sworn my allegiance to Odin's Wrath.
Well,
I'm sure you're describing the plot of the movie Overboard, where Goldie Hawn loses her memory, and Kurt Russell picks her up and tries to make her his wife.
Her and Gudrun definitely do not have that kind of relationship. I don't even think Flux trusts him anymore. They for a while were getting on great, and they had this really epic emotional moment where they both like Flux, like, she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't know who she belongs to, she's kind of lost. She's a bit of an idiot as well. I don't really like her that much, to be honest. She's totally totally not my kind of girl. She's naive and like takes everything very literal. Her and Almo her and Gudbrand had a discussion one day about the various gods. And so now she's of the
Gods.
belief that the gods watch her when she's undressing, which is kind of unpleasant. So every time she meets somebody else that's telling her about a new god, she's now thinking there's a whole arena up there of people just watching her undress. But anyway, her and Gudbrand did have a very emotional moment where Gudbrand revealed his backstory and the fact that he's lost his wife and child, and she kind of broke down about, not knowing who she was and maybe having to say goodbye to the past that she can't remember. And it was all very beautiful, but now he doesn't seem to want to talk to her anymore or tell her anything, so she has to go behind his back to try and find things out.
Shot him in the face.
That was an accident, and I made him a unicorn.
So,
Oh my god.
share only if you want to. Was that set up with Gudbrand between you as players?
No.
Interesting.
No.
All right. So that just evolved organically through RP?
Yeah, because I'm not very good at the whole creating backstories or setting things up. Plus, I think it takes something out of the game if you've set things up. So yeah, it all just happens organically and naturally and all the rest of it. But
if you're trying to find a certain point, and I'm sorry not to derail you, but in a situation like that, if you're looking for... You said you were like, no one was claiming you for a long time. Maybe you just poked one particular person and said, claim me in any fashion. That sounds wrong. Don't go with that. So I was curious. I mean, because I think that kind of RP is fine, as long as, everything happens organically. But if you say two players set up like that, I think that's fine. Like every town sets up kind of like
I kind of was tempted at some points because there was a few people that, like, for example, in Season 1, Clara had a romance. Well, a romance that didn't happen, really.
Poor Denise.
With Arlen Messenger. Like, Clara went to him so often, and he never made a move because he was so busy focused on building, which is fair enough. He was trying to get his keep finished, but it just didn't happen. So at one point, I was contemplating poking him and saying, let's go at this again and try and have another romance. But I don't know, it just sort of takes the authenticity out of it, I felt, if I did that, or forced it in any way. Yes, Brian, it was very one-sided. I know.
I can see that.
Can't help it. Clara, she only had eyes for him at that time.
Okay, so do you have any plans to get somebody involved to, like, maybe can I tell you who you are, or?
I don't have any plans, but on one of her adventures, she discovered that she has tattoos. And so she ran around the land asking people if they happened to know what the markings meant. And there was mixed reviews, but somebody had told her that she seems to have Celtic and Viking tattoos, which might suggest that she was taken by the Vikings as a child and branded. In some fashion. Now, Flux woke up on the beach, and it just so happens that Odin's Wrath is named after a shipwreck of the Vikings who crashed.
Yep.
And it could be somewhere in her subconscious that she's starting to think that perhaps she was also on that shipwreck as a prisoner or a slave.
Very interesting.
And, I don't know if that storyline's going to develop, but she's starting to be a bit more mistrustful of Gudbrand, just because he seems to leave her behind a lot. He doesn't seem to tell her what's going on. She has to go out and try and get information from other people about things such as apparently the wedding that's happening. Nobody told her there was a wedding. She had to go out and find somebody that would tell her. She had a nice conversation with... Well, I won't name the character because they told me not to. The birds. So this person, I almost give away gender there. This individual told me that Gudbrand is basically selling off Floki to Southreach, and that apparently neither the bride nor the groom are particularly happy about the said wedding. But Gudbrand is kind of forcing it for some reason. So Flux is now... Well, she just took a nap outside Southreach because that's where she was off to discover information about what's going on. because she's a nosy bitch, really. And she just likes to know what's going on with her people. So, yeah, so I'm hoping to discover what's going on in Southreach, what's happening with the wedding, who she is, maybe find out a name for herself. Maybe Goodbrand will finally reveal the truth about who she is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just have to see what happens.
Interesting.
Maybe he'll be Kurt Russell from Overboard.
Maybe. I've never seen that movie, but
You're going to go and watch it this week, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
I totally am. I gotta take notes.
This the wedding is becoming a pretty big plot point. Everyone's getting involved. I feel like it's going to be a who's who kind of situation of people getting there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't even think everybody in Odin's Wrath is aware that this is happening. Like, this is Goodbrand. Goodbrand has a big settlement and he has a few people that live in it, but he kind of goes off and does, well, him and Floki tend to go off and just do their own thing and don't tell us, so we have to go and find it out secondhand. So it'll be interesting to see if we're even invited to this so-called wedding. Or he might not want us there, because I don't know if I would approve, well, if Flux would necessarily approve of a forced wedding, given that she's, innocent and, doesn't want to see anybody get hurt or do anything, bad. And she kind of likes Floki. Not in a romantic way, but he's been a good egg.
Interesting.
Brand told Zaccheus it's purely political. Just throwing that out.
Coffee just got himself a fresh beer, huh?
I actually wanted to just question something I just noticed in your interesting facts, Isuli.
Yes.
Selling weapons to both sides? And a mysterious business partner?
Okay, so when I first was roaming around, I was role-playing around, met this guy who offered me this location of this gold mine and said to build a keep on top of that southern mountain. And, lots of wealth and fame will come, but I just had to give him a little bit of blood. And it was on stream. It was role play. It was creepy as hell. But we got the gold. And selling arms to both sides, well, Crescent Reach has virtually just stayed on the top of that mountain unscathed, while everybody's been getting wrecked by Grim and Seven Hells. So all of a sudden, Grim comes one day after murdering everybody in Slefsig and tells us, you're cool with us, we're cool with you, as long as you don't say a damn word to anybody. And we're like, hey, it's cool. And we have been selling arms to all these settlements, and then all of a sudden we're selling arms to Grim and Seven Hells, and then I gave an axe to Helen, who she probably roams around with, or Zaccheus did, and that's all these little wars going on. Crescent Reach is just sitting up there dealing out all the goods to anybody who needs it.
I was actually going to ask you about that visit from Grim, because just before that, the day that people came to make my character king, so it was 3 or 4 settlements showed up, and they said, well, the mountain men, that's what they called Crescent Reach at the time, were part of this defense pact, and so all those towns were in it, and before they came to Crucible. And then one of them was like, okay, well, we'll go see where they were. They were supposed to come to this meeting, and they went, and they came back. Oh, excuse me, someone was there, and I haven't seen his character since. But he said, I was there when Grim showed up. They're not in the defense pact anymore. So suddenly that was Crescent Reach, who was very, very quiet. Everyone could see them up on that damn mountain building. Suddenly they became very, very interesting because of that. It's like, wait a minute, are they going to attack people? And it's been very quiet so far. So it's curious to see what's going on in there.
Plans inside Crescent Reach are very big and ambitious. What we reveal to everybody is different, and I can't really get into it, but you're very right. I mean, what are we doing? We were friends with Slevsig, but then they would insult us. So we're friends with Grimm, we're friends with Shield Maidens, but then we're friends with all the people. So when somebody from Crucible saying, "Oh, those bastards in Seven Hells," we're sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, those bastards," and then they come and they buy arms, and we're like, "Hey, Grimm, how's it going?"
Yep.
And I can't really go much more into that,
Yep,
but
absolutely.
we're profiting off of war,
misery,
and,
yes,
and
war profiteering, sure.
that's
I'm just
where
goofing,
we'll
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think a lot of settlements are like that, where inside they have a lot of plans going on, and then depending who shows up at their door, what each person is told is different, and then that's how you get there may be only actually, let's say, 5 stories going along, but then there's 15, 30 different ideas of what everyone else is doing, very similar to real life. There's rumors and plots running around, and then people go herring off after certain rumors and stuff, and then that's when people die, which is interesting. And it's good to know that you guys are rumor-mongering war profiteers.
Yes, let's just leave it at that. That's what we are, and we won't get into it.
No, it's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I kind of got a sneak peek at what's the building that you've got up there. Because Mrs. C's shown me around it a few times. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's insane. Okay, I'm just out of character. I gotta give it to everybody in Crescent Reach. I may have been a little bit crazy trying to get that keep up, and they thought I was crazy, and we all thought we were all crazy at one point, and there was a lot of salt, but we worked together, and I think the rewards at the end of it were so rewarding. I can't even imagine what it's like in Crucible with that huge keep and all those castle walls. I mean, it must be the same thing.
Yeah, very same thing. When you're in TeamSpeak 24 hours straight with the same people and all you're doing is mining granite, it's it goes from hanging around, drinking, having fun, to getting tired, getting surly, snapping at each other. Let's start drinking again, gets fun again, and then by the end you're like, oh, hooray, it's up. I'm logging off this game for a month. Fuck all of you guys. I love you.
That's it. That's
I called one night and tea was on, and the salt was so real.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit like that. Yeah, just shut up, Nikki. I do no work. I stand around telling them how to do work. They hate me.
Nikki doesn't do any work. There's video proof. She just goes around getting hit on by people in Legend and
Yep.
Buckle does no work.
Yep, that's what they think.
so,
They're a bunch of lovable assholes, that group. But I think that's true. I mean,
Buckle.
we don't get a lot of look into, say, Legend, which is one of the other larger towns on the server. But I think it's it's pretty much true. Everyone gets together for a common cause, and then sometimes you get that mindset where we're building. Ah, fuck! Here comes some RP. And you're like, boy, I can't wait till we're done building until we go out and do some RP. And it's trying to find the good mix between the two, and that's where the does no work shit comes from. I'm gonna go RP with these guys for 5 minutes. Why aren't you in the granite mine? Well, all right, well, whatever.
And now I think all the keeps are at a point where we're done our initial design and our walls are up, our buildings are up. Anything else is just extra work we're just doing for aesthetics, whatever else. So it's when we get sick of working, throw on whatever, go run around in RP. That's happening a lot.
Yep,
So
I'm seeing
it's been fun.
all the larger towns are kind of like that. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So that's why I'm hoping. I'm really hoping now that the game, that the people aren't losing interest because of that work grind, and then get back into, hey, the role play is here. Everyone else is role playing now. Come on back and join us. And so, I'm just not intimidated by giant walls.
Roads are being built. That's how we're end game as a server. I think.
That's a good point.
Roads start connecting.
Yep. And Coffee, you brought up, I think, having a neutral place for people to meet. And then that way you kind of know, like, oh, I don't have to run around to everyone's town, and I can just go to this neutral place, and hopefully there'll be someone to be there and talk to.
Yeah.
Set up some RP and whatnot.
And I think that's like one big thing is we gotta start building roads, right? To all the big places needs roads, right? And let's say if we have these meetings with the council, if it works, then it just opens up more RP for everyone. Like all of the people, and just how was the journey here? You know, if someone attacks you, then okay, just tell us about it, you know, and we'll figure it out. And yeah, that's the whole council thing. Just gather everyone and yeah, just see the information what it is.
Good. Nice little hub.
Yeah.
Until some jerk runs up and puts a monument in it.
Yeah, but we gotta make it
like a trade hub almost, and you know, rather than going around to each keep trying to get some RP, there might always be someone at this place, this neutral ground.
Yeah, I think it's good because it brings role play to all of the people that doesn't have like the RP, you know, like there's a lot of people that hasn't experienced the RP in a while, and yeah, they just talk to the people inside the settlement, and yeah, just hear the just listen to the opinions, and yeah, just bring everyone together and make it one big thing. And out of game, it's going to be big family, you know. And
well,
I
think you're right.
Forward to it, because
think about sorry, go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, no, just I think a lot of the attention has been on all of the other big places, and just because Jam, Crom,
Vesper,
Corona, Vesper, all of the people hasn't visited the places.
Sure.
That's just because I want to bring everyone into the RP, and they can make the decision they want to.
Sure.
Right? And just tell the thing they want to, and then we make the decision in the council. Just lay it out there, and yeah, just be nice to everyone. Yeah, I think
I like it.
everyone's gonna enjoy it.
Suddenly I'm blue. We're just gonna go with it.
It's alright.
So roads are good. Like I was saying, that's endgame.
Yeah.
Roads are endgame, and that's a hint of civilization. But roads kind of offer two different things, in my opinion. So roads are bringing all the towns together, like you say, bringing all. And you're more likely to encounter friendly players along the roads. But now you have to watch your left and right out in the woods for the darker characters who will prey upon the people on the roads. So while we may be more in touch as an RP family as players, hopefully that leads more to, we got highway bandits and things of that nature, people who do actually want to do bad things. Because if we're running around just trading Flux and, so we can make great weapons every day and then not using them on one another, as much as I'm, fighting isn't the only solution to every problem, there should still be some of that. So I'd like to see some of that coming around. We will if we get bad guys, and then we have bounty hunters, then we have people who can establish law. Central hub, like you're talking about, should be a great place for that kind of thing. And make it a real world kind of situation.
I mean, there's a lot of options for the role players being the bad guys, having their like perfect spot, just like, oh, they're making that move, just they're going to talk, they're making the council get together, just boom, just attack along the way, just boom, like it kind of involves a lot of people doing a lot of more RP, and I've been missing a lot of that because there's been many people coming to Southreach just wanting to join us, starting working, just having a conversation, and I think
central location would be pretty good for that, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
good place to sell weapons.
Yeah.
Or perhaps find long lost owners.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, no matter the gameplay, there's a lot of good RPers out there.
Yeah.
Not showing their their talent, and I want to bring that just to the notice that people actually experience the good thing about the server, because lately there's been a lot of killing and a lot of intrigues, just Seven Hells going to the Crucibles, killing people, and
happens.
That's old news now. Nobody cares about those guys.
Well, no, hopefully they come back around in some capacity. Otherwise, I mean, and people have to adjust their stories, and that's actually people have to start to improv more, which is kind of something I want to talk about tonight. Any of that stuff where getting the people together in a central place is good, or even just letting them roam around is pretty good, as long as people are like improving their stories, So I mean, if the Shield Maidens and the Seven Hells never come back, someone's going to fill that void of being the bad guys. I think as you're saying that, like, not everyone's getting involved in the RP, and hopefully they never feel like too intimidated by it, because as you said, there's a bunch of people who are like bigger places in the limelight, and hopefully some of this show does a little bit of it, letting people come out and share their characters, and then just going about their life and setting up some things. We say roads, central locations, bringing people in, let them improv their stories, and so it never matters if the Seven Hells never come back to do what they're doing, and then we can just keep going as we are. And then sometimes they'll be bad guys, sometimes they'll be good guys, and hopefully no salt out of the game. Because I think it's tough. The streamers were setting themselves up. Sorry, the core group, Jam, Crom, Decoy, all those guys. They were setting themselves up to be bad guys so that we could go against them without people getting upset if they're killed, kind of thing, And then kind of backfired because they were super powerful and wiped out a bunch of people with no armor. So it's a good thing. So it's just, I think your idea is right. If we set up a central place for people to RP together and establish stories like, hey, here's some good guys, here's some bad guys, you can get a feel for who's into your RP. The people who say yes, and not necessarily without the word yes, but like agree to it, and then you go do your thing, and then people on the sidelines get to watch that and get involved next time. As long as like, don't be upset about dying, don't be upset about getting taxed, things like that. Just roll with it. Just keep going, keep improving. But
I think it's a good idea to just like bring everyone together and just hear everyone out, and just make
like
something good out of it.
Like a kingdom. Of the settlements and a civilization, and then connecting it all with roads.
Because
and seeing what happens from there.
Because
we'll
right
the bad
now
guys and the good guys come out like bucks.
Because right now there's not much going on, There's not much going on.
There is lots of things going on for individuals. It's just it's you know, I enjoy being able to play, and I do a lot of role play and here, there, and everywhere. So there is storylines going on. It's just
absolutely
not on the big streams.
Yeah,
which is good.
We're here for,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's not any very big antagonists like Grim and the Seven Hells rolling around.
Yeah. And there may never have to be.
No.
But you're right. There's a lot of storylines going on, a lot of things here and there, and I think that's. I'm always torn between having a world that's independent, things are going around, it's constantly in motion, or having something overarching pulling all together. So the first season had a lot of that, and the first part of season 2 had a lot of that. This big story, and everyone else were wings off of it. Sorry, my buddy is calling me from Brazil. I'm just gonna mute that.
Brazil.
He flew there today.
Exotic.
No, he went there today. I don't know why he's calling me now.
Message already. Sweet.
Hey,
there we go.
Bucko.
He missed me.
I
He missed me. I don't know why he's calling me. Hopefully it was a pocket dial. What is going on with my camera? All these settings are fucking around. What was I saying? Torn between having a big thread pulling everyone together, because at least then you have something character-wise to talk to one another about, to break the ice. If you as a player aren't sure enough of yourself to kind of do that thing, so you can be pulled together by these villains or these heroes that you hear about, or you can just go off and do your own thing off in the woods and never be heard of by private things. And I think there's room for both of those things going on in this server right now. I think.
Absolutely. There's a lot of space for activities, like everyone can do their own thing, and the ones that want to get into the action, then of course, just get into it.
Or start your own action.
That's what the council is about, and the ones that want to risk it and just put themselves into it, then just go for it.
Yep.
And make a bigger story than you probably wouldn't have expected.
Sure. Yep.
Because the story of Tuk, it wasn't going to be a big deal. Right? In the beginning, he was going to be the captain's guard, just protecting people, because that's what he's all about, just protecting people. And that's what his choices is about, just protecting people. And sometimes that evolves into something else, and you got a new one, a new opportunity, and do something else. I mean, just go for it. I mean, it's well RP. Go with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. There's a bunch of keeps that can make a neutral ground. There may be another keep who's like, screw that. And they start going around doing whatever the hell they want, killing leaders, starting shit, and they're like, fuck your council, we're the shit, and then you got to take them out. And another example would be the guy Zaccheus. He was just a guy who built this little settlement, and he went up against big old Crescent Reach, big old bad Crescent Reach, and Zaccheus ended up killing him because Zaccheus basically took everything from him, took his land, his monument was gone, everything was just gone. And now Zaccheus has to deal with that, but then his cousin came back and it started this whole fire. And as a role player, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the Zaccheus who starts a fire with 4 or 5 different keeps, or do you want to be the king? You want to be a bandit? Take it as far as you want. Be creative with it. Let your mind go, and then it'll start fires everywhere else with everybody else's story. It's all,
I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I know, right?
That's the core thing, right? Relax and have fun. And
I
No matter what plan you set up.
Yeah. And a bit of role play.
This season it was tough to start. There was a lot of drama and intensity, and it let funnier characters start to shine a little bit. Like we see JZ playing Windrush, who kind of a silly dude, going around doing his funny little things. Oh, I used to be a tree, ha ha ha. And that's funny. It's good. It's like, oh, that's a nice breath of fresh air. Then all of a sudden he slaps you in the face with all this lies and deceit and all these things he's spinning around. He makes a good mix of all the good stuff from both seasons so far, I think, where it's like you have that, and then I think I'm personally guilty of this. I get really caught up in the drama. I'm not a very funny person. So I get really, really into the dramatic portions of it, and then I meet up with this character like Windrush, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm just going to relax and have fun with this, whatever it is. It's just, he's going to take me on some, insane shenanigan, like you're saying, and I'm just going to go with it. And it doesn't matter whether or not my character is personally going to be into what he's doing, but me as a player, I'm into what he's doing. Take me where you're going to go take me. Tell me all about your illicit wares or that you were a tree and shit like that. Characters and players can do that, pull me into it, and there's a lot of characters who are really the high drama and stuff, and if that's not your thing, either, just roll with it, go it, maybe you're into high drama today, or just kind of, bow your character out. But either one fits. There's a lot of that, and as long as you're just reacting with your character, changing with your character, putting yourself in the shoes, I think it's fine. It can be fun either way. People are going to have fun in different ways. Awesome, Melly, go fuck yourself.
Definitely. To be fair, I think it was Nikki that started with the shots fired.
Yeah, I got my beer. It's all good. I got my whiskey. It's all good.
Yeah, it's Gannicus had to know when he set out against Crescent Reach that he was going to lose. The player-wise, right? He had to know that he wasn't going to win that. And I think that's an important part. Very few characters and people in life are going to be heroes, the ones that stand up to it. So you have to let yourself be a character that is sometimes killed, tortured. Sometimes you're gonna be a loser, and you just kind of got to roll with that. Corkbottle played Gannicus, right?
Yes,
I think
yes.
He knew he was going into that and not going to win that situation, but he started something, like you said. He started a fire with all these different towns, the whole story that broke out because of his actions. So character-wise, he may not have won, but player-wise, he did a great job. He got a lot of people involved in something amazing, right? So, and I don't know, there's room for that, or if you're not a kind of a player that goes out and I'm just gonna sit over here and I'm gonna make some beer. If people show up, I'm gonna make them drink it. Seems to be like a bunch of those on the server. They're all drunk assholes.
Hey, don't be knocking the mead.
That's what we need. We need the AA.
And maybe all the problems can be solved with the AA.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there are a couple of good taverns on the server, I think those are great. If you can get your characters there for low-key RP that may turn into something bigger, like Gannica's story here. Get yourself involved, meet some people, and then the more players who come to these historically, meeting places for people, you can start learning about stories going on. We just need to make sure everyone gets to the same one every night instead of 2 people in all 20 taverns. But yeah. Those are good places to go. And
yeah.
What was it? Rosemary and Lucifer. They've got a big one going right now, right?
Rosemary and Lucifer got something special going on there. They got workers, and they just signed a contract with Zaccheus. They are the second ones to get into Gannicus Mine and be able to take as much gold as they want before South Reach and Arena, or South Reach and Twin Peaks. So Lucifer and Rosemary are very, very rich right now.
All right, that's good to hear.
Excellent.
Yeah, I wish there was some more purpose to gold other than, like Vatascus and things like that and jewelry.
Out of character, you're right, but roleplay wise.
Oh, sure.
Having.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're using it to our some of our characters using it to advantage right now, having gold and trying to push it. Here's cash, and try to make them buy into that storyline. Gold is important, kind of thing. So yeah, I hope more people do that anyway. It's a good thing.
That's a good question that Brian's just posted.
Gannicus.
Go ahead, Isolde.
No, I was just saying cork bottles.
There he is.
Yeah. There. What's up, man?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Question from Brian Hunter. He wants to know, in terms of RPing villains, how do you think you can do it while ensuring that the people you are RPing with are having fun? I think in terms of murdering or the menacing behaviour.
RP with the right people.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's how do you sort of try and establish where you think the line is and how not to cross it?
Alright, well,
if you
Claire,
do
go
cross
ahead.
it, you have to make sure everyone involved is having fun.
Yeah.
So what do you think on that, Claire?
I don't know. I think if somebody gets salty because you've RP'd killing them for a logical reason based on your character, then that's on their own head. I mean,
Sure.
if I happen to be travelling along and Flux meets some mysterious character who is RPing a bandit and she dies, then that's all good in my book. As long as it's RP'd out, there's at least a conversation. There's a reason given. It's not just, oh, I don't like the look of you, bang, you're dead.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how you can get over somebody who's going to be salty maybe about Dan either way.
Yeah.
Which has happened in the past with people.
So
When it has been RP'd out and people have maybe got salty, because people do get attached to their characters.
For sure.
It's totally understandable. Maybe you get a bit salty that your character you've spent hours and hours training and leveling up is suddenly no more, and you can't just bring it back from the grave. But I don't know. Luckily, Flux I don't think will kill anyone, so I won't have to cross that bridge unless Angus, who Bran knows all too well, says the wrong thing to her, and then she might accidentally knock him out a few times too many and kill him. But I think Angus would have a good laugh about it in the afterlife, so I'll not be too worried about it.
Yes, heard about your fists of steel.
Yeah, what can I say? I've got fists of steel in DayZ and life. It's the Irish in me. Yeah.
I think we have a TS raid going on.
Yep, that would be the shadows.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They're all drunk.
I gotta hang out in that TS more.
And poking me in TS so much that I'm gonna go in there and slap them silly.
What the fuck do I have a TS?
So it looked like you had something to say about that. Like you were like chomping at the bit there.
Well, you got to look at, Jam. He had Asher and Grim, and they may be bad and good guys, or however you want to look at it. He RP'd a murderer, both times, and he went around and he would actually challenge people. If they insulted his character, he would challenge them, make them pick up a sword, and then he would fucking murder them. But that's how I would see it as fair. And there was the whole thing with Classy Pax's character got wrecked with one shot to the head, which was full RP, and questionable to anybody who looked at it, but still it started fires and it got good RP going. So the line is really, it's tough if you want to be a menacing character. You have to have really good RP reasons going into it. And then know that you're going to be killing your friends, as Jam said when he killed Buckle here.
I love killing my friends.
Well, I mean, that you're going into it killing
kill.
your friends, and you're killing off hours and hours of work, and that's not taken lightly. But at the same time, it's RP, and if it's good reasons, you got to make sure of it as a villain.
I think there's a balance to what you're saying. So, actually, what both of you said so far. Mechanically, it can take a long time to set up a character with all the skills. So, say you finally got hundreds and all the skills you really care about in your character. And we know that takes hours worth of time. Or you spent tons of time creating the story. And I guess you kind of have to know, going out in the world when characters like that exist, I could come across them, and there may be RP reasons for me to get out of that. And that's something that Jam and I talked about, is like, when he came to my character, there were RP ways for me to get out of that situation. I, as a player, didn't see them, and to that extent, I died, and that's fine, because I knew as a player, this is a dangerous world, and even in a situation, the rules say no KOS, but if I get, a few minutes of interaction where I may upset another character with my actions, and he draws swords on me and I lose, that's no longer KOS, and that's something that's going to happen. People just die randomly, and people get hit by a bus and they're gone. And there's
that's what happens. You're right.
And it's tough when you're the person who's going around doing that, and you threaten someone. You're being aggressive and things like that. Try to read what the other person is doing, in my opinion, and like if they really don't like that kind of interaction, they'll make ways to show to you that they don't like that interaction. Yeah. So you may already know. I mean, you've been with warrior characters and things like that. And there's a phrase people use: "Would my character do that?" And I think that's kind of, I think that's limiting yourself a little bit. Improvisation to that. So, if in this situation right now, will my character kill this other character? And do I have to be afraid of that player's feelings towards me after the fact? And to an extent, no, you shouldn't really be afraid of it. But if they're making some kind of indication to you that they really, this is not a good RP interaction with them, I'd say let it go. Just move on. Maybe my character would never not kill this guy for insulting me, but maybe I just know, And so, I mean, I'm sure some of you are like, purity-wise, really play to that. But, like, I think it's maybe better because killing is a final thing. You're no longer going to have interactions with that character anymore. And maybe you can pull characters, pull interactions out of that. So maybe let them live this time, and maybe next time you kill them, or maybe next time they come back and kill you because they have more people. I will never, no matter what kind of character I'm playing, and this is just a personal thing, I will never be the guy who draws weapons first and goes after and kills players, because I understand that players have a feeling, like you're saying. They put time and effort into these characters. But but I will retaliate, and I'll go after, I will kill people. And I think people on the server just have to understand that it's a dangerous, dangerous world, and things can happen.
Yeah.
Rumors can abound, and they might get killed. And try not to be salty about it.
It's not called Happy Land. It's Life is
Sure.
Feudal. It's medieval. People died.
Yeah. That's why I'm really hoping that the neutral ground area, building roads and things like that, doesn't lead us to, My Little Pony Happy Land, and instead it's like...
No, I think there has to be a balance. Like, death isn't the worst thing that you can do to somebody either, though. There's torture, there's forcing somebody to work for. There's other ways to punish people who have insulted you that don't have to result in their character dying, which maybe needs to get used a bit more.
Yeah, that's something we talked about. I think that was the last episode or something like that.
Yeah.
Put in something like, say you're a ruler, a baron, or a king, or something like that. Someone breaks a law. Oh, we could execute them, or we could make them pave a road from here to the next town, and then keep guys on him. And if he tries to shirk his duty, kill him or bring him back, something like that, or you just watch him. And then now he gets the interaction of like, oh, the king made me do this. The king is seen as fair. Things like that. Then that's just where my head goes, because I know these are players putting time and effort into these characters. Let's try to pull the most out of them, pull some RP out of them, instead of just being like, your nose is funny, dead, that kind of stuff.
You're right. There's an example of that with Jay Belize, or play Kermit in Season 1.
Oh, don't talk his name. It makes me so sad.
I'm so sorry. But
I mourned for him so badly.
Yeah, we all did. And his character actually came to us and was like, I'm a thief from the north, and the king wants to kill me, and he thought I drowned. And we're like, we're not taking any thieves from the king. Actually turned away a couple people. And so I brought it up, and we marched him back. And Asher made Kermit frickin' gather 4,000 to 6,000 stone for his walls. And out of character, JB was just, I can't believe you didn't do that, man. And it was like, it was worse than just killing off his character. So it's very, very right.
Well, I mean, worse in the sense that, that's humiliating for the character to come from. And sometimes you're going to be humiliated, but there's that interaction, and then we see that he becomes Kermit
Warden of
goes.
the South.
Yeah, becomes Warden of the South. And sure, he may have been killed. Yeah, I was king for less than 2 days. So let's, we've all been killed by Jim.
I haven't.
I like that countdown. Coffee, that was funny. Yeah, that's just where my mind goes on those things like that. Let yourself fail. Listen to the situation that's going on. You may die here, and you know what? That's fine. A failure like that, a death, is an opportunity to create someone new. And you don't even have to. The rules state you can come back, though I think they're saying if they ever rewrite the rules, they'll remove that you can come back as the same character thing. But it's, gives you a new opportunity, a new beginning, even if you die. But, hey, wouldn't it be better to fetch 6,000 stone versus being killed and losing all those hours? I don't know.
Yeah, and as Kermit became the blacksmith and Warden of the South, which was really his character development. I don't think anybody saw it because he wasn't on all the big streams, but to me, his
we seen it in Clarelu.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
It brought us so much RP and so many good storylines of the back of him becoming Warden, and then his ultimate demise.
I can see that as the we had the Brotherhood. It was like the neighbor of
Clear Cove. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Clear Cove.
And then you cleared out.
That
place
just
is
left
empty.
a big giant wall.
It's a ghost town.
Yeah.
We used our
Deforestation
practice on your walls.
Yeah. After a long time, it became this ghost town, and we started working on pretty much get the practice, get the work done on pretty much the jewel of the South, because the past, let's say, the past stream, you had Nas, and he's a bit of the designer for the South Reach, and I have to give cred to Nas doing all the work, and he's a good guy. I love him to death, and we've been doing a lot of TeamSpeak hours together, discussing whenever it's wrong or right. Oh, shots fired. Always. Always.
There you go, I'll jump
Always. Yeah. I mean, Nas.
He was a good man. He gave me leather shoes.
Yeah.
Why aren't shoes just default? I hate that so much that shoes aren't default. I don't want to see toes. I hate toes.
Nobody likes toes.
You're gonna have to see the highlight of
Is it Tuck's toes? Because I don't want to see it.
I'm gonna make a YouTube video about the whole.
Nas's toast just for you.
No, about the Cletus thing, because Nas gave Cletus some shoes, and he can run around as much as he wanted to, and all of that, because I just want to give some credit to the Zombie Pit. That's his Twitch name, the Zombie Pit. He plays Cletus.
And now
He's
cuter.
Now he's cute. Now he's cooter. And I love him to death. He's been playing a big part of the South Reach role, because the first time Grim Ray came to us and he put a sword against Cletus' head. Einar, he put his body against Grim Grey and Cletus. So he defended him with his whole life, and Tuck is, I don't know, is more than grateful for the effort and everything like that. He's always a friend of Einar. He still doesn't know if Einar is alive or is
he
or
dead.
Out of character, he know he's dead, but in character, he no idea. He still thinks he's missing. Yeah. And
players like Minnow, who plays Einar. He played the actual Minnow character last year.
Yeah.
I saw in Season 1 some people were getting a little upset with him because he's very antagonistic. But when you talk to him, he's a level-headed guy, and he has great RP. And I think people like Zombie Pit and Minu, they're really important because they don't aspire to be these big things. They just come in, stir shit up, and like bye, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And they get things going. They're really these catalytic characters that that are great, and it's great that the players understand that, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to die. And was Zombie Pit in particular.
Yeah.
He was playing that kind of character where everyone thinks people who speak with a southern accent, at least in the U.S., are dumb, and people who are smart and southern use that to their advantage, and they say these ambiguous statements. And Zombie Pit did a great job with that with Cletus, and that provoked him. You know, he went from north to south, just traveling around, telling about his mama and his barrels of fish, and I don't even know what the hell he was saying.
Hey. You know.
The light will be entered into you.
Right. So he was saying things like that to Jam and Grim, who are an intelligent character, intelligent player, and like, I see through what you're doing there. And then seeing Southreach on that stream rally around this character, I thought he was doing something really interesting there. And then Einar kind of picked up, like, oh, they're attacking us, and he's moving around doing these things. Players like that do a huge service to the server when they do that.
Yeah.
Here comes the shot.
Yeah, I've been ordered by Lady M.
let's just state that Wrath, the guy who was in leadership at Southreach when he took into custody the two men that Zaccheus was trying to kill, that's Manu. He's trying to set up this whole trial. And once that was shut down by Southreach, well, hey, he hopped on the gold mine, and he's like making up contracts so that he can get a piece of it. And it's like, he's very important.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right, Buckle. Like characters like that are super important to.
Menu has been a big character since Season 1, and he joined Southreach pretty much, let's say, in the middle of the finishing project, and he put a lot of effort in and did a lot of work, and he became this sort of let's say not really an executioner, but he really wanted to fight. All right, and out of character, he's put a lot of hours in chivalry, and a lot of the combat thing is much alike the chivalry thing.
He's very skilled.
And he's.
I suppose he's a bit like one of the characters you were talking about earlier, Buckle, where it doesn't have to be like Jam level of bastardness. But he still Yeah, like you said, he just comes in
Little
and
bastard.
fucks shit up.
Yeah, I mean,
And doesn't
I
overstay
mean,
his welcome. Character
Yeah.
like that can get on your nerves, you know.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he's like, "Here's my thing, do it," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, nuts!" And then he's gone. You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
where the hell did he go? What the hell
Where
happened
the hell
here?"
did he go? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even last season,
And,
there was 3 keeps looking for him at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Bye, I'm a different character now." Like, and he
Yeah.
talked to him and he's like, "Yeah, I hope everyone liked that." Yeah, Manu, you
He
kick
came
ass.
to Clear Cove, and
Yeah.
he was just, "I'll fight any of you," and I was like, "We already told you to get the hell out of here," and he just kept going at it. So we all pulled, like 8 of us pulled swords at him, and he's like, "All right then," and he that's the type of guy he is. He'll fight 8 of you and win.
Yep, he was
Yeah,
extraordinarily skilled.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Alright,
Big up Clear Cove.
yeah, why not? Okay, just to keep the shadows happy. Shots fired,
Everybody
guys.
Can somebody
Hold on, I got
link
some.
the Shadowers TeamSpeak?
It's Blackouts TeamSpeak.
Yeah, well, you can get that off SubHub, right? If you're sub
Yeah.
let's plug up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm subbed, but the thing is, wait, hold on. I'm a bit drunk, so
Oh, we noticed.
That
It's
Irish
all
coffee.
right.
things is all right.
Frosty.
BLACK. Blackout.
Out.
I'm not even searching for him. That's oh my god.
That's all right. You'll find it.
Winfield.
Blackout.
It's okay, they're all in chat anyway, you don't want to hear them. They're a rowdy bunch.
Oh, I want to hear him.
Oh,
That's
you really
fine.
don't.
I don't know, man.
Blackout.
It's an entity unto itself.
Yes, it is. Oh,
Blackout. Can somebody link
my
it to
camera
me?
did just go
That's it.
blurry though.
Yeah, if one of you guys want to do it, so we can move along. Just link them the info.
Like in the sub-hub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
thank
go
you.
to the SubHub. That's easiest because you just copy paste up there.
Is he streaming right now? No, he's not. Oh, you know what? We should go into crime stream like.
We should maybe
Like.
wrap up this one first.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap up here before we do that.
So,
Hello there.
Anyway,
Anyway, the Irish coffee is taking over.
Oh, I'm drinking Brooklyn Lager. Indeed.
that's okay.
Long
Anyway,
Island
what's the name of the state?
Phoenix.
right. So, do you want to start your discussion on some RP?
Well, I think we
info?
covered a lot of it
Or-
in
yeah, we kinda have,
conversation.
haven't
Do you have
we-
any questions or?
Yeah, we'll hit up
Yeah.
questions, I think. The only thing, like, going back just for a moment to the person who is hesitant about being encountered by someone who wants to kill him. That's a key situation where RP is like, even if I know I don't want to be killed, say yes to that situation anyway. Just go with it. The more opportunities in-game that you say yes to, the better story you're going to craft with everyone. And that's really the whole
Yeah.
thing of this whole conversation. It's you can have a string of 10,000 yeses and one no is going to derail the whole thing. And that's not necessarily bad, but the more you say yes to, the more storylines you go along with, the more fun you're going to have. Like Claire said really early on, I just want to have fun and have some adventures and stuff. Sometimes adventures get you hit by a bus, but sometimes you end up in a town, sometimes there's a cider festivals, things like that. I think those are, I don't know, the more often you do that, say yes or say yes and. So yeah, I'll go along with your story, but here's also this thing I'd like to layer on that, and together you're going to build something. And it may be just the two of you, or maybe, you know, like Gannicus earlier, you may send a whole bunch of towns at each other's throat and create a contract system. That's all. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the conversation
yes,
we've had tonight has. Sure. In role play, say yes. Let yourself say yes to the situation that hit you. That's all. It's no matter what it is. I mean, and say yes doesn't necessarily mean, yeah, I'm going to let you kill me. Say yes may mean I'm going to play off of you and try to escape. Or I'm going to fight you back. That kind of situation. You know, like be the other person in that conversation in in that situation go together. You know, it's give each person something to do. Don't just listen. Don't just wait. Listen and react and respond. And I think everyone here is already giving some great examples of how that works. That's all I want to talk about tonight. So I think it came out.
Yeah, it's just a conversation at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Yep. Just relax, have fun, play the game. Live within the confines of the game, but beyond that, improvise. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, the biggest point is to have fun, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks like Almo's got a question for you, Isili.
I see that, yeah. Yes, it has affected Zaccheus. First, he was very remorseful. The gold wasn't even worth it. He told Lucifer in a private conversation that it just was not one drop of that gold was worth killing Zaccheus in his mind, because it's a big thing to kill someone. Mm-hmm. And so I let it affect Zaccheus in a huge way, but at the same time, it's given him confidence, like, okay, that's shitty, but I could do that again if I need to. So it's affected him in a good like a good and bad way. Like, he's learned a lot about himself, and he can definitely fight and kill again if he needs to. But he feels really shitty about it. So that's where Zaccheus stands in that.
Start of a downward spiral.
What?
You're right. You're right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a downward spiral. I mean, you may start a person in that situation could turn around the other way and now go too good. You know, really trying to make up for the things he feels he did. There's a lot of different directions that can go.
Definitely.
Stay tuned to find out.
Exactly. Yeah. They definitely do. So S stopped. Wants to know if we think there's going to be more bandits in the next season or the end of this one.
Oh, I think so. I think so.
I think every keep wants blood. They've been sitting, going stir crazy.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a few people, and probably in every keep, who want to go out, get their blades wet.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think so. Just because of, well,
because we're all human.
Yeah, and the now, well, contributing council that Rhea has been approving, well, not kind of approving, but yeah, it's on standby as of the moment, but yeah, I mean, the council is going to make people want to, I don't know, do the bandit thing, like just cut off someone's path, you know, when someone travels to the south or the north, pretty much just cut off someone and make the RP going, and yeah, I mean, we want to make you do something that the other part don't want to. So, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. That's RP.
But it has consequences. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that is the quest of the RP. I mean, bring on more people. Come on, join. Talk more. Just
there's only so much we can do with just the four of us in a room all day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to get more people into this, and every time I hear someone, let's say, someone knocking on the door, well, someone's outside your keep. Alright, well, let's talk to them. Let's see what they have to say. Maybe there's something interesting. Maybe there's something that makes me have a like opportunity to do something about something. You know, like there's always an opportunity to do something, and even more if we make this happen with the council. People get together, talk more. Yeah.
So the council bandits will arrive.
Yeah.
You would hope so. Hopefully they're not overly drunk talkie bandits, but it's whether or not people make persistent bandit characters, like say the Seven Hells, or disposable ones like the Higginbottoms. So I mean, I only use those guys as examples because we've seen both of those, right? It would be really interesting to see like a bandit town spring up, and hopefully they understand that the more they do it, you're going to get a lot of RP interaction, but you're going to get nuked. You know, once enough people, especially with this council that Coffee's talking about, gets together, you're probably going to get nuked, and you may upset people, but hopefully everyone keeps it together. So do I think we're going to see more bandits? Yes, because people love playing bad guys, and playing a disposable bad guy like a bandit is extraordinarily easy, and it's fun to be a bad guy in RP. I think a lot of people, especially when they're new to role-playing, always want to be the bad guy, and especially one without a conscience. Bad guys without a conscience are like roleplay 101. You're going to get out there, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to kill people, woo! And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I think that if people do play bandits, and I think they will, hopefully we see some of them progress. Like a good example, like I don't always want to go back to like Jam's characters and things like that, but like Asher was an example of a good guy doing bad things. Hopefully we'd see more bandits like that. He's not a bad guy in his core, but he was doing bad things. And how can he keep doing that, or how can he save himself from doing that? So I'd like to see bandits pop up that are kind of like that. They steal, but if you catch them in an inn or a tavern or something like that, you can have a conversation with them. You may not know they're a bandit, and there's actually more to them than just like, let's go steal everyone's stuff and kill them and like clean their chicken coops, that kind of crap. So we'll probably see both, I think, but yeah.
That's sort of like an acting lesson that I had. It's as an antagonist, you don't want to be this super sociopath antagonist with no feelings. There's got to be like a hidden layer under there that makes you human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thing that, you know, he kills everybody, but he loves his cat. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know, he loves his girlfriend, or it's just an example. But that whatever makes the bad guy human can be hidden too. You know what I mean? It can be revealed later on in the story. But that's always a good thing.
Definitely.
Yep. So yeah, actually, you have experience with that, right? With improv and acting and things like that. You said you were in an improv group, I think.
Well, I've been theater film training since I was 12, and then I stopped and I got into spoken word for the past 5 years. So I'm really rusty with the whole, you know, theater school, film school, but getting back into it has been really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you have more actual training than, you know, the majority of people on the server, but like.
It's a different beast.
I did GCSE drama.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't ask you. I knew a little bit from talking with the Solu before.
We're joking.
Well, do you agree with what he said, Claire, about the humanizing characteristics?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, every epic villain on TV or movie always has something in the background or something from their past that keeps them human, an aspect of them that makes them sort of relatable too, if you will.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got nothing relatable, they're just a monster.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a bad boy?
I'll be talking to the one crowd here, Claire.
Well, there's something like we love compelling bad guys. You know, as media consumers, we love compelling bad guys. Walter White is one I go back to a lot for these kind of discussions because he was a bad guy that we love to hate, but then there were the people who genuinely loved him. People thought he was the good guy, like, And that's weird. This guy is a murderer. He's putting his family at risk. Why do we love him? Oh, because we want to see his struggle and see him, win or lose, see how he gets out of it. And that's the kind of bad guys I'd like to see more of, rather than, American Psycho, where there is no redeeming quality there. He's just, filming himself.
Psycho.
Yeah,
Hannibal,
he's having sex
Hannibal
with
Lecter's one of my favorite bad guys.
It's a good example. Exactly. Yep.
Because there's no getting. He eats people, he eats their brain, but there's just something about him that you just you're just attracted to him as a human being, because he's so intelligent and knowledgeable, and he wins you over, and at the same time, eats your brain.
Yeah.
So, I think there's definitely something for having something about a villain. Can't just be an out-and-out bad guy with no redeeming qualities. There's just no fun in that.
Well, and if you are going to be an out-and-out bad guy like that, try to make him disposable, or learn from your interactions with people. You're likely not going to be, a night-stomping, king-killing bad guy right from day one, because you spawned on the beach in rags with the aforementioned no shoes. So, in your journey to becoming that killer, what do you learn along the way? Unless you're just running to a town to gear up real quick to go around and killing people. So I don't expect anyone from the server to put out levels of acting that were found in Walter White and Hannibal Lecter, but those are good models to follow if that's the path you want to go down. In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you got to look at it in a sense of theater. Like the acting may not always be on, but there's just watching it. Even if it's not a 10-10 actor or role player on the server, there are magical moments that happen live or on someone's recording, or just when people are just role playing. Like they happen, and those are the moments you should shoot for. Just it doesn't matter what level of role play they are, if they're up here or if they're down here. Just role play it out, and connections are going to happen. So that's sort of a theater thing, a lesson like that.
Ultimately, your interactions are going to be for yourself only. Doesn't matter if you're being streamed or are streaming. It doesn't matter how many people in game are watching you. Just have that moment to yourself and with the other person. That was a great moment. Strive for that. Good or bad, whatever the reaction is. Whether you're fighting, whether you're getting married, things like that. I think those are the best, no matter what you're doing.
And that's what it comes down to theater, because as a viewer, you could go home and tell your wife, "Yeah, this amazing thing happened, but it isn't really that amazing unless she was there to see it live too." Yeah. And you're sort of a viewer as a role player. If that makes sense, because you always having that role play up and going.
I think definitely just do something for you. As long if you're loving it and you're in the moment, then just try not to think about if it's being seen or witnessed by other people.
Yeah. I got a question here for Talk. Almo says, question for Coffee. Tuck is really attached, let's just say that to his alliance with the Seven Hells, but my character heard from some of your men against it. How does it affecting you?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, Almo.
It's the first time he knows that anyone doesn't like it.
Oh my god, Almo just
people are listening. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It wasn't affecting him until he just heard it.
Right now.
You just destroyed him, Almo. Congratulations.
We're witnessing a moment.
Well, Tuck is trying to get his men to understand him at this moment. Get everyone together and just you know, try to deal with it, and yeah, I mean, it's not of a big it's not of a big deal that Tuck rules the South Reach, you know. It's a bit much more than just, yeah, Tuck is the leader, but the
Would
people
you say? Go ahead.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, would you say that he wants to make the decisions that keeps his people safe, even if they're the tough decisions? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decision between the tough ones and the easy ones. Like, the easy ones, they're just like, yeah, just roll with it. And the hard ones are, yeah, talk to the people, understand what they want from you, and go from that. And yeah, I mean, it's a big difference between the character of Tuck, because he wants everyone to be safe, and yeah, I mean, yeah, he wants he wants Southreach to be a safe place to come and to trade, train, do everything of that, and yeah.
Yeah, that's always going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself in situations. Well, the character has to put themselves in situations that's sometimes literally standing between them and death. And it's going to be an interesting RP. If your men are really against that alliance, you know, they may end up killing Tuck. Or maybe they can convince Tuck that, yeah, we need to fight back, kind of thing. I think you're in a really interesting position right now, you know, with your proximity to the Seven Hells, with your men maybe being for or against it. I think you're up for some pretty good roleplay.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think so.
Excellent.
There's a lot of people asking about, like, oh, what's the future like? Like, we had a few people joining us. They want to do this, you know. And Tuck is like, yeah, I mean, if they want to work, they want to train, if they want to do anything with the South Reach, then okay. Then just contact Tuck and we'll deal with it. And I mean, the South Reach needs always people to work, you know, because
you get time to be trained, you get time to mine. Get down there and get some more.
always
need ore.
Yep.
Always.
Sure. What do we got else for questions? Anything? I think Almo's got a question for all of us.
Yeah. Any more questions?
I dread to think it's going to be something about TS shots, no doubt.
If it is, we know that's probably our time to wrap up for the evening.
Yeah.
Come on. Where's all the people? I just got in the TeamSpeak of the shadows.
You're in the wrong channel then.
Yeah. You'd have been
there you go.
by now.
I think Clear Cove had a similar choice. Well, Sprite had a similar choice in Clear Cove to make the same one. Talking about Tuck's decision when Kermit was killed. Sprite, the decision was either to react at that point when he had 15 men at his gates, or to be peacemaker. And I know there was difference of opinions in and off stream about how that situation was handled. But at the time, he did it because he was trying to protect the people in his keep, and there was no way they were going to survive that. But he did have to, you know, basically witness the death of his friend and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Which is something similar to Tuck.
Yeah. Being personally involved in that, we were a little disappointed that Jam and Crom came along. We were hoping for that to be something off stream that our group and their group could kind of come together and do.
Yeah,
and I feel
definitely.
Like I mean, there were some really good aspects of it. I don't want to detract from anyone, and it's unfortunate that the server was in such bad shape that like everything is always resulting down to like 1v1. Because it would have been really cool to siege and fight back and then the kind of stuff, depending on how the conversation went. But like the Jam versus Kermit kind of like escalated that so much.
It
and, like,
escalated so quickly.
Yeah, and like
It went from
Kermit
0
didn't
to
have
60.
to die. You know, like no one had to die that day. Or we could have had a huge, you know, it's awesome, oh, the server's going out anyway pretty soon, let's have a big battle that actually means something, not like, oh, the server's going to end, let's go fight for no reason. There was lies and rumors going around, and a big thing could have happened. We got a peace talk, we could have had a war.
We were hoping for war. I had an epic speech I gave and everything.
Yeah, and it's like...
with his royal play, and that, like...
It was an epic moment. It was an epic moment.
Truly epic.
And he could have won, and it would have been neat. But I mean, like obviously, people were going to rally around the Fallen King kind of thing, and you know, like there was. I don't like saying that there were mistakes made in an RP situation, but
there were.
Yeah, some people charging in and killing people in that town and stuff like that.
3 people charged in, and I was right there, and I chased Crom into an alley, and he was at a dead end where me and Mrs. C were there, and hitting him with spears, and he attacked Mrs. C and killed her. And then I was hitting him, and he ran, and he ran over the gate.
I miss Arabella so much.
This is fucking war, I'm yelling, and it was really crazy. And somebody got into the keep and chased Kermit and killed him, and that was really shitty because none of us seen it. He just killed him, and then he had all his armor and.
Well, so I know the player did it, and talking to him, he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that we weren't full on attacking." And
I don't think VoIP was working.
Yeah. Yo, VoIP was terrible.
VoIP was totally broke. VoIP was the reason that ended the way it did.
Yeah.
Because obviously, had they heard nobody attack, then you know, I would like to think that they wouldn't have, but. Tempers were flared, and you know, men will be men.
Started, was crazy because Vicon we were like gonna kill Vicon, and we were gonna come to Stonewall, and we had people just coming to us for like 2 days, just like gonna help you. And we had so many people. We're just thinking, okay, how are we gonna do this? Yeah. We're literally gonna walk up to Stonewall, and all diplomatic, and say. You are our arch enemies, and we're now at war. And then, like, head back to Clear Cove, and it would have been on, and we were going to wait for you or whatever was going to happen. But all of a sudden, Vicon had been talking to Manish, and he convinced him to just give up his beef with Clear Cove. So Vicon came, talked to Sprite, and I said, why the hell are you here? I thought you wanted my head, like, after yesterday. And he's like, I'm so sorry, but, you know, Manish calls for war against Asher, and we were like, well, Asher just fucked us over too, so let's go. And we went to Manish's place where there was more people, and it was like a snowball effect.
Yep.
All of a sudden, Vesper's there, Vesa, and she's like holding the front line, and we just kill her. We chase Crom. Like the whole thing that happened after what happened in Clear Cove, there was the craziest shit I've ever been a part of, and that's sort of the reason we just sat up at Crescent Reach and didn't want to go kill Grim, because it was like we did that already.
Yeah, it was it was fun and intense, and yeah, Clay, right, the VoIP really escalated some of that stuff, you know. I mean, some of that could have been fun. And it's too bad that server had to end, because I think we had some storylines going that the ending of the server escalated, perhaps in a different direction than most of us were anticipating. But
yeah, I think everybody was preparing behind their own walls for an attack that nobody was about to launch.
Well, that's it. It's kind of
in Clear Cove, we were panicking that we were about to be attacked, and I think Stonewall were up there preparing to be attacked. Nobody was attacking anyone.
Vicon kind of helped that along a little bit. Yeah, so we had those encounters with, you know, Father Smith and Kermit, which I thought was just great. It
was
really
amazing.
brought together, and then sort of like, yeah, like, fuck it, let's just have a war. It's gonna be awesome. Where everyone's just hanging behind their walls. Let's do something. And then we went down there, and like, King's like, hi, it's my show now. Like, God damn it, Asher.
Clara said goodbye to Ireland over the head of this war, thinking she would never survive a war, and then a war never happened.
Yeah, yes.
She sacrificed love for that war.
We tried. I wanted to fight. I kept crashing the whole time. I was just crashing. I don't know if anyone noticed. My character was going bloop, bloop, over and over again. I just kept crashing it back in the game. Like, this is stupid. This game sucks. But at least it resolved nicely. I think we completely passed over the question that was asked. We all heard the server losing for now some of the main attractions. I think he probably means like Jamacrom and them. And you can see less and less people logging in.
Buckle speaks drunk Elmo.
Which may cause troubles to our peers because I see stories dying out. Yes, I have some fears. Hopefully that either they get back on and play and pull it up because, even when they're not on, if they've been on recently, the server kind of sticks at 60 people. The 25 to 30 people right now is really dampening my mood for playing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard traveling around and you just come across empty keeps all the time.
Yeah, I went to keep after keep last night.
I was thinking about that, and maybe, like, I don't know how you guys are doing the whitelisting, but adding asking a time zone. Like, I'm just throwing that out there on stream right now. So.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with the whitelist. They just said on stream once, hey, you want to do GM stuff? I'm like, yeah, I'll do GM stuff, and then nothing since then. So Jam is still the only person who does whitelists. I keep going, hey, you guys want some help? No, we're good. Oh, okay, I mean, cool. So yeah, time zone on the whitelist doesn't sound good, and then maybe just like, hey, if you guys aren't going to play a lot anymore, please just blast through like another 30 to 50 people onto the whitelist. Let's get some people into the thing, and then the rest of us who have giant keeps, maybe give them a week or so to build before we start, wrapping them up in our storylines. Because yeah, if we can't get the people back in, I'm a little concerned that like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go play another game now because there's like 9 people playing The Sims over here in this. I'm just getting non-stop abuse from Crucible people tonight.
You are.
It's like I'll after this I'll get in the TeamSpeak and they'll abuse me there too.
Come in the Shadows TeamSpeak, and then you'll get pissed.
And you'll get abused there too.
I guess, yeah.
But it's a nice kind of abuse. It's kind of an abuse, soft kind of abuse.
Has anyone ever told you that you're pretty dirty? Just throwing that out there.
Pretty much everyone. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Irish kisses.
It's Irish kisses with the fists.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, unless there's any more questions.
Yeah,
bring back season 1.
Yeah, I do. I miss season 1.
Yeah, it had a fun naivete to it.
I miss season 1. I missed my character. I missed all the shenanigans and the people, and I loved season 1.
Season 1 was amazing. God. I wish that we could have kept the dynamic that all the towns and we had just connected our road from Clear Cove to Midgard.
Yeah, we spent hours building that motherfucking road.
Did you guys?
You destroyed my training ground.
That was your.
I tried to let them keep. I tried to tell them to keep it.
We didn't know whose it was.
Did you guys have a deal with Manish that if you build half the road, he'd build the other half of the road? Because that's the deal he had with us. So we dutifully went out there, we built half the road, and then it just sat there. The other post was just grass and dirt up the road. And we kept going, hey, Manish, when are you going to build the road? He's like, oh, yeah, I'll get the idiot boy to finish that road up. I'm like, yeah, yeah, Thad's really going to get out there and build a road. Where the hell is this road?
Right, yeah.
The road was built by Thorold, our cook, and Claire.
Wait,
I loved Thorold.
Back in season what? In season 2?
He was. He came in the first few days, and I haven't seen him.
I believe he went to Southreach, and then he just disappeared.
I love that guy. He was like a creepy granda.
Yeah.
He was a good cook too. Great cook, and he was
a great cook.
Our treb shooter. Like he tested our treb on those Brotherhood walls.
He did, yeah. When we were preparing for battle.
He was shooting it, and that was amazing.
Now, please confirm, was it doing damage to the walls?
Yo, this is something that, because Manu says that if the walls are within boundaries that they can't be damaged, but Havoc's saying that they can, and the only thing that Judgment Hour does is make it so you don't lose alignment and you can loot all their stuff.
Yes. I think our next step is to we'll go out and build an unclaimed wall and fire a treb at it instead, because we find
an unclaimed wall went down. We killed it. I got it highlighted on my channel, but a claimed wall we don't know, man.
All right, so
that would be a game changer.
It needs tested for science.
For science.
I've read conflicting things, but more often I hear that Judgment Hour is just the alignment thing, like what Havoc said. More often I see that, but I have seen both, and it kind of makes trebuchets and sieging unimportant if it requires Judgment Hour to do it.
But if it doesn't, that could change everything, you know.
Right, and I hope it's true that, you know, like, you don't need Judgment Hour, and then we can actually, you know, go attack places and do things. Because otherwise, people are just going to hide behind their walls and say, "No, I refuse to be died today." I'm like, well, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to my town and do the same thing. We need to be able to knock down walls, and that's
very true.
Yeah. So maybe I'll build a trebuchet and an unaligned character and fire it at my own walls and find out. I got some walls I want to.
Science to change the whole server
then we will actually kill you.
The walls might not be too keen on you if you turn them.
Oh my god.
Especially if you hit that keep.
Yeah, no, we got a section of wall we want to take down. I'll hit that. They'd be involved. I don't. Zipadelli knows how to shoot the trebuchet. I just kind of show up and go, "Woo!"
Just so you guys know, I need to get another beer because this is really important. Because I like my beer. Alright.
Do you know you sound more and more like Chow the more you drink, right?
Oh,
you know that's a real thing.
I drink on what day is it? Friday. It's Saturday, right?
Wasn't it Sunday for you now?
Well, it's Sunday actually for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, it is kind of. Yeah, it is Sunday.
It's 2:30 in the morning for you.
Yeah.
It is. Well.
Alright, well, I think that's probably a good place to call it for this week anyway. So,
okay, everybody leave while coffee's away.
Thanks everyone for
stop this.
stomach. No, we gotta go. I've got things to do.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Don't stop this.
I gotta eat dinner, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be waiting.
Don't stop this. Promise you I'll be
say bye,
right
coffee.
back. I'll be right back.
See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
Oh dear.
It's gone.
Love you.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for coming along this week.
It's a little bit of a rambly episode, but thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, sorry about that. We'll give him a slap later. Maybe some
Quicky's
coffee.
gone.
Alright. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming. We'll probably see you around the same time next week.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys very much for joining us. And everyone hit those links that Mrs. C put down for Coffee, for Claire, and Isilu. They're all streamed. They're all fantastic.
Yes.
Please go follow them.
Shots fired.
Fool
Love
me.
you guys.
Shots fired. We got some whiskey. Come on, boy.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you.
Boys and girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Indeed. Come on.